Food philosophy. What's your faith? There's an internal crisis within the diet industry that is going to force us to change the way we think about food. The most fundamental model on which our scientific premise of nutrition is based has come into conflict with a new way of eating. For traditional American society, proper nutrition was essentially based on the notion of calories in equals calories out, an understanding of food which makes no distinction between proteins, carbohydrates, and fats. By contrast, the new science set by the USA Diet says that the types of calories you consume means everything. Proteins, carbohydrates, and fats cause specific hormonal responses within your body which dictate your metabolic state. Comparing the USA Diet versus all the other corporate diet companies of America is like comparing two different religions. If you're Christian, it's Jesus. If you're Islamic, it's Muhammad. And if you're Jewish, it's Moses. So everybody has a different God. Same thing with the diet industry. Everybody has a different philosophy on how they're supposed to be eating. The traditional dietetic establishment, such as the government's food guide pyramid and Weight Watchers, views proper nutrition as essentially calories in equals calories out. That's it. You eat a certain amount of calories each day. If that is under the amount of energy you burned, you'll lose fat, according to them. Their equation is simple. Since a pound of fat has 3,500 calories, you have to burn 500 calories 7 days a week to burn 1 pound of fat in a week. The calorie model misinterprets the body as a stupid fireball that burns fat at random. So basically, your body's a dumb fireball that burns calories at random, that doesn't know what it's actually eating. By contrast to USA Diet, I think that your body's more intelligent than that. You can actually sense what macronutrients you're eating. Proteins, carbohydrates, and fats cause specific hormonal responses within your body that determine the metabolic state of your body internally. Your body's a bag of chemicals. When you take any kind of drug, alcohol, cigarettes, marijuana, it changes the chemistry of your body. Same thing with food, drugs, pharmaceutical drugs such as statins, they change the chemistry of your liver. So when you eat protein, stimulus glucagon, insulin is stimulated by carbohydrates, and fat, CCK, your body becomes shifted in a different chemical state. It's different from eating a fat-free muffin than it is eating a USA Diet Plans meal, which has a balanced ratio of proteins, carbohydrates, and fats. An estimated 99% of all Americans believe in the calorie theory. The first thing they look at when they grab a food label is the amount of calories it has. The second thing they look at is the amount of fat. The third thing, salt. And all three things have nothing to do with nutrition, even salt, which I'll get to later. Now ask yourself, what is a calorie itself? It's the most commonly used word in the diet industry, but when you think of what a calorie is, a scientist in a white jacket will take a jar, put a dried up piece of chicken cutlet in it, and tie a wick, just like the wick that you used to light a firecracker on fire, to light the chicken cutlet on fire, and then they surround this chamber with water. And the amount of heat it takes to raise the surrounding water to 1 degree Celsius determines how much calories in the chicken cutlet. Now, how does that resemble a human cell? It doesn't. You better hope the calorie theory is wrong. If the calorie theory was right, 1 ounce of cheese, you'd have to go walk 90 minutes to burn off 1 ounce of cheese. It simply doesn't make sense. The phrase, I burned 800 calories on a treadmill, doesn't make sense, because what type of calories did you burn? If you ate a fat-free muffin or drank Gatorade before you went on that treadmill, you're burning a fat-free muffin or Gatorade. If you follow the USA Diet and go on the treadmill, you're burning primarily fat. Calorie counters envision proteins, carbohydrates, and fats being shoveled into the energy fire of your body at random. Proteins, carbohydrates, and fats just get shoved into the energy fire of your body. I say that I can tell you what goes in the shovel. I can just put fat in that shovel, so you're just burning fat all day. The USA Diet makes a clear distinction between proteins, carbohydrates, and fats, because it's the ratio of proteins, carbohydrates, and fats that determines the metabolic state of your body. If you have too much protein in relationship to your carbohydrates, you burn muscle. If you have too much carbohydrates in relationship to your protein, you store fat. Calorie counters just count calories. I count calories and grams. Calorie counting diets are high in carbohydrates, low in fat, and they make you burn carbohydrates at rest. Now your body burns fat at rest as long as insulin isn't dominating your system. Like right now, I just had a balanced meal. I'm burning fat right now. It feels so good. And I'm not even moving because your body burns fat at rest. But not if your body's overstimulated by insulin, if you have too many carbohydrates. Calorie model, high in carbohydrates. The calorie counting model hates fat because fat is high in calories. And to me, fat is friendly. As long as you use fat to your advantage, you got to eat the right types of fat. balancing omega-6 to omega-3 fats. Fish oil itself, even though it's fat, it actually helps you burn fat because it makes your body burn fat more efficiently through the actions of making the cell membrane more permeable to accept nutrients and making the hormone receptor complex communicate better.